Pound for pound, they're the toughest athletes in professional sports. Most jockeys stand between 5'2" and 5'3" and weigh about 114 pounds. The horses go from anywhere from 900 to 1,200 pounds and travel 35 to 40 miles an hour. Russell Baze has made his living on horseback for more than 30 years. And he happens to also be the all-time winning jock.
One a bull, still coming. 2 lengths to court, the King zoning in, running a tremendous race. But it's One a bull with the lead now. One a bull from Friesgood and zoning in. And One a bull takes it by a length. Friesgood second, and zoning in has run out of his skin in 3rd position, clear of course the King.
There's an old proverb that goes, if you're going to tell the truth, it's best to keep one foot in the stirrup. There's a great deal of wisdom in that adage, but the flat-out truth is, despite the fierce competition in the hard-scrabble world that's the lifeblood of thoroughbred horse racing, the sport's leading winner, Russell Baze, is still one of the nicest guys you could ever hope to meet. Despite all of his success, the 50-year-old race rider from Woodside is a popular and highly respected man with everyone around the track, from blacksmiths to other jocks and trainers. In 1999, Baze was inducted into the National Museum of Racing and Hall of Fame, and in 2002, he was honored with the George Wolfe Memorial Jockey Award by his peers. The son of a former jockey turned trainer, most of the Baze clan, one way or the other, have ridden or worked around horses.
Well, my dad always jokes that, you know, back in the past, our family was horse thieves, and they had to have fast horses to get away on. But I know for a fact that my grandfather trained horses. He had a couple of horses, and they raced around the Blue Mountain Circuit up in Idaho and Washington, and my grandmother rode them. And then she had to finally stop riding because she was having children fairly frequently. And my oldest uncle, Earl, started riding, and then my father rode, and several of the other uncles rode. And in my generation, my older brother rode also, and then me and my little brother started riding too.
Riding really seems to be in the family blood. 2 of Russell's cousins, Michael and Tyler Baze, are both very successful jockeys riding down south at Santa Anita. And then there's his son-in-law, jockey Kyle Canal. That connection to the track and the sport also extends beyond the people who ride horses for a living.
Besides riders, we've got trainers and horseshoers and veterinarian assistants, and you know, just about every job on the racetrack is a Baze has filled or is filling now. In a profession that has seen Baze post more than 10,000 victories, the very first time he ever crossed the finish line in front is still vividly etched in his memory. I started riding in 1974. I actually rode a race just before I turned 16. You weren't supposed to ride until you were 16, but there was a little fair up there called Walla Walla, and I rode my first race on an Appaloosa at Walla Walla. Ran 3rd. My first win was in October of that year, 1974, on a horse that my dad trained named Oregon Warrior, going a mile. And my father told me this horse doesn't like horses on the outside of him, so keep him out.
Baze was so young and green that he kept his horse extra wide, and he forced him to run an extra furlong.
We were going a mile in the 16th, and I didn't realize, you know, it would have been okay to save a little ground somewhere along the way, but I kept him out about 4 or 5 wide the whole way. He was so good it didn't matter. He just won with me anyway. But, you know, I mean, early years, I didn't show that, you know, I was going to have a whole lot of promise in the jockey business.
Russell Baze riding for his life on this long shot, and it's both ends burning to win the Oak Tree Invitational. An upset as both ends burning, and Russell Baze beat Gato del Sol by half a length.
Baze is the leading money winner at picturesque Golden Gate Fields, and he continues to make an exceptionally good living despite being often anywhere from 20 to 30 years older than the other jocks.
The competitive aspect of it is always changing. I mean, you go out there and you got 6 or 7 or 9 other guys out there trying to, you know, maneuver their horses and get you in a spot where you can't run. And at the same time, you're trying to, you know, ride your horse and get the ultimate performance out of him. And, you know, I mean, it's just a constant battle of wits and aggressiveness, and it's really exhilarating to go out there day after day and do it. You know, I mean, it's always changing and always fascinating, and just being on a racehorse when they're running, it's a really gives you a feeling of power. Like, you know, you've got this huge, strong animal underneath you, and hopefully you're in control of it. And the times when you're not in control, that gives you a little extra shot of adrenaline.
Baze back towards the inside in the white sleeves and cap. He's going to try and pick his way through the field. Now he switches towards the inside. There's an opening too. Wall of them lining up here, and Baze sends Butterfly Bell through on the inside. She made it happen, comes strongly down the outside, but this is the race. Russell Baze on Butterfly Bell, winning 2.5 lengths as a sterling career becomes gilt-edged.
On December 1st, 2006 at Bay Meadows, Baze set the world's all-time record for most career victories, passing jockey Lafitte Pincay Jr. by winning race 9,531 aboard a horse named Butterfly Bell. It was a mark that Baze knew he would eventually catch and surpass after his friend Pincay suffered a neck injury in a race and finally called it quits.
I was never one of them that thought it wouldn't be broken, because I was winning races at a pretty good clip at that time, and I knew eventually I'd catch Lafitte. And when he got hurt, you know, I was sorry to see it happen, because I don't want to see anybody go out of the game not on their own terms. But at the same time, I knew, okay, now he's a stationary target and I can catch him. You know, I mean, good Lord willing, I don't get hurt. I can catch him, and you know, I mean, it took me a little while to catch up to him, but I did catch him and go by him.
2 lengths to Two-Step Cat, followed by a...
Not only did he surpass Pincay, Baze would go on to win an amazing 10,000 races.
Here's Baze getting a split on Two-Step Cat in the green cap. Unusual Men, stablemate to Two-Step Cat, is on the outside. It's Unusual Men, Bride Oakey, Two-Step Cat in a three-way thriller. It's close. It's either Bride Oakey or Two-Step Cat.
One thing, Russell, you sure made this 10,000 an exciting race. I wasn't really sure you'd won it.
You know, if I was a betting man...
Horse racing commentator Sam Spear has been covering the sport for more than 30 years in the Bay Area, and he has his own ideas on why Baze is such a good rider.
He's just driven. He's driven to succeed, and he expects to win every race, and he rides each horse as if it's the Kentucky Derby. Whether it's the 4th race of the day or the 9th race of the day, you're going to get the same effort as you get in the big stakes race. He has not lost any of his competitive desire, though he's won over 10,000 races, and he's won over 400 races numerous times in his career. So even though he has these accomplishments, he still wants to win every race.
Nailing down all the victories has come with a price. Baze has suffered more than his share of injuries over the course of his career.
Well, let's see. I've had several concussions. Broke a bone in my neck. Let's see. I've had my eyebrow split and my cheek split open. I've got 5 compression fractures in my back and 1 broken vertebrae. Both collarbones broke, this one twice. Let's see. Cracked my wrist, broke my pelvis. I broke 6 or 7 ribs. Let's see, had this knee tapped twice, this ankle tapped once, tore my arch loose in this foot. That's about it.
While Baze is already in the Hall of Fame and has had tremendous success over a long career, he still doesn't want to give up race riding.
It's a fantastic adrenaline high, you know, you get from going out there and competing. And you know, I mean, I'm just proud enough to want to prove that I'm the best guy out there. And it's you know, I mean, it's just a great game.